Probably the vocal. Vocal is probably the most challenging part. It's always very delicate to get it perfect for the song and work with the artist. And, keeping the artist happy, very important, very challenging sometimes. And keeping deadlines, I guess. These are the three most challenging parts. Well, basically, I love everything about making records, let's face it. But if I'd really have to come up with a list of the least favorite things, I'd probably say copying lyric sheets, waiting for artists, negotiating deals. That's sometimes a little dragging. And changing tempos and keys in the middle of a session. That's not really pleasing. Well, usually I can accomplish it in one day, meaning like a 6 to 8 hour day. And if I know I have to comp a vocal, I'd like to keep that day open, like not having any meetings later or something. So in case it takes longer, I don't feel pressure to, got to get off and, got to go to a meeting. And I'd also like to do a lot of breaks in between comping to keep the perspective. So I'd like to keep that open. But sometimes it can take longer. It depends if I maybe have to comp background vocals and tune them and maybe comp all the doubles for the hook lines. That can be an extra half a day to a day. So sometimes it's a 2-day affair, comping an entire vocal. Coming up with keyboard parts and overdubs, messing around. No, really, it's my approach is really play and see. I might go through different synth and patches and see what inspires me. I just improvise and play, to the song and see if something works, if I like it or not. And usually in 2-3 hours, I got a bunch of overdubs which work. Sometimes it takes a little longer, maybe a day or two. But it's just really like improvising and see what feeds your mind. Sounds, well, like I said, you taste it before you eat a full meal. Just play along, go through patches and see what would work for the song and get inspired, and just play a few things. And I always try to come up with different tone characters and different colors for each section of the song. So for the verse, maybe a softer thing, and then if it goes into the chorus, maybe more an exciting, pattern kind of thing. And for the pre-chorus, something that leads into the chorus. Just try things out, whatever works. There's not really a method I have which works for each song, for each production. I just go with the flow and see what happens. I'm a digital performer user since 2.8, which probably is 19 to 20 years now. I started using Digital Performer in '99. I got turned on by a good friend of mine who used to distribute Motu Digital Performer in Switzerland, and I haven't looked back since. It's very flexible. It's extremely... probably not the most intuitive program, but it's very flexible. Sounds great. I can accomplish everything I want. And especially for vocal productions, the pitch and stretch tool is just incredible. It sounds amazing. And to me, it sounds better than Melodyne, to be honest with you. I've tried Melodyne before, always had a little trouble with artifacts sometimes, but never had any issues with Digital Performer, so it really sounds great. 3 things. I'd probably say one very important one is to find your own biological time frame. With biological time frame, I mean find the hours in a day where you're the most productive and creative, and schedule your stuff around that time. So, for instance, if you have to write or arrange or maybe comp vocals, you should do it in those hours where you're the most productive and alert. That could be morning, midnight, after lunch, whenever. My most creative time is mornings. I'm an early bird. I'm usually up like at 7 and start working at 7:30 latest. I'll do all my comp work in the morning because my ears are the freshest. And then usually I have like a valley like at 4 o'clock, between 4 and 7. I'm not productive. I can do other things, maybe make phone calls or do emails and stuff. But creative work is like really in those like precious hours in a day where you have to find out where they are and so you be the most productive. Another one would be fight for your intention and your vision as a record producer. Very important because that's the reason why you're doing this. But also stay open to find the golden compromise with the artist, which is sometimes very hard to do, but you have to accomplish that. Oh, and another one I'm always saying is don't get fooled by equipment. Let your ears be the judge, and what feels right is right. So that's the bottom line.